I saved for 2 years to take my dad to Italy for his dream trip. A week before the flight, my stepmother changed the tickets she gave them to her daughter and said he'd rather travel with real family. I said nothing, just smiled and walked away. I worked double shifts at the hospital for 24 months. Every extra dollar went into an envelope labeled Dad's Dream, the Vatican, Florence. He had books about Italy stacked on his nightstand, all dog-eared and highlighted. When I finally had enough, I booked everything. First-class flights, a boutique hotel in Trastevere, tours of the Amalfi Coast. I printed the itinerary, put it in a folder, and drove to their house. My stepmother answered, "Oh, it's you. Is Dad home?" I knelt beside him, holding out the folder, papers. His eyes scanned the first page, then the second. His hand started shaking. "We're going to Italy? 2 weeks. Just you and me." He pulled me into a hug so tight I could barely breathe. Behind us, my stepmother cleared her throat. "That's very sweet. When do we leave?" I didn't even look at her. "We, Dad and me." Her smile froze. "Excuse me? This trip is for Dad. I saved for it. I planned it." "Well, obviously, I'm coming too. I'm his wife." "Then book your own ticket." Her face went red. "You can't just exclude me from a family trip." "I can when I paid for it." She turned to my father. "Bernard, are you hearing this?" He looked uncomfortable, the way he always did when she wanted him to take sides. "Honey, maybe we should, maybe nothing. This is ridiculous." She crossed her arms. "If I'm not going, neither is Vanessa. That was her daughter from her first marriage. The golden child who could do no wrong." I stood up slowly. "What does Vanessa have to do with this? She deserves a trip to Italy more than you do. She's always wanted to see Europe. She's 32 and makes 6 figures. She can afford her own trip. Family takes care of family." I left that night without another word. 6 days before the flight, I got a call from the airline. "We're confirming the ticket change you authorized." My blood went cold. "What changes?" "The name changes on your booking. Your stepmother called yesterday and..." I hung up, opened the airline app, and there it was. My name, removed. Dad's name, still there. Added. Vanessa, added. My stepmother. My hands were shaking so hard I almost dropped my phone. There was a text from her, sent 10 minutes ago. He'd rather travel with real family anyway. Thanks for the tickets. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I smiled, and I made a phone call. 3 days later, my stepmother called. "The airline says the tickets are invalid." "What did you do?" "Reported them stolen," I said. "Because they were. You used my confirmation number without authorization. That's fraud. You psycho." "Do you know how much I paid to change those flights?" "About $800 per ticket, right? Maybe don't commit credit card fraud next time." Silence on her end. "Oh, and I forwarded our text thread to Dad. The one where you said he'd rather travel with real family. He's been trying to reach you all morning." She hung up. That evening, my father showed up at my apartment. He looked 10 years older. His eyes were red. "I didn't know," he said quietly. "I swear I didn't know what she did." I opened the door wider. "Come in." He sat on my couch, hands folded. "She told me you canceled the trip, said you decided it was too expensive and backed out. I was so hurt I didn't even call you." I showed him everything. The texts, the airline's fraud report, the confirmation that she'd changed the tickets behind his back. He stared at the screen for a long time, stood up, kissed my forehead, and left without a word. He moved out the next week. 2 months later, Dad and I stood in front of the Colosseum at sunset. The light hit the ancient stone just right, turning everything golden. He whispered, "For all of it, for choosing her, for being blind." I squeezed his hand. "We're here now. That's what matters." We spent 10 days in Italy. We ate carbonara in tiny restaurants. We got lost in Florence. We laughed until our sides hurt.